Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. A little bit of a rush today. I got here kind of late, and they're going to run us immediately. So me and Bob got the car ready to go. James Gonzo got his ready to go. So we're going to get this thing hooked up, head over to the staging lanes for Q3. Hey, bud. Nice of you to show up.
Better late than never.
What time did you get here this morning?
It was about 7:40.
Did you get any sleep at all?
About an hour.
It's better than nothing, I reckon.
Yeah. I feel like I slept 10.
That's
Feel
good.
Great.
So, the sun came out. We're going to shoot for, bottom 50 here and hope for the best?
54 or faster, ideally.
Yeah. The top, 5 qualifiers are all 51, so.
Yeah, I seen that.
Definitely tough field, but hopefully the sun gets off the track and you make something happen.
Yeah.
All right, well, wheel this thing. Good luck.
All right, guys. We are here, or as it should say, I am here. Day late, but not $1 short, because we got us a bad hot rod coming into this race. It's a little too busy, tied up at work to be able to get out here on Thursday to make Q1 and 2. So we're coming in for our first qualifier, Q3. Gonna be a qualifying rip and what race conditions will be like on Saturday. So we're gonna try to go a 54 or faster. Right now we got to tune up in the car that's been a 52 and hopes we can just duplicate that here. Track seemed really good. Top 4 or 5 guys in the class right now are all going a 451 something, so shouldn't be too far off the mark. Ideally would like to be in that top half of the ladder to have to be able to race easy, but we'll see how it goes. We're supposed to get 2 qualifiers today. This will be our first one, and then we'll go from there. Maybe try to click off another 40 something, maybe try to improve upon the PB of the 49. I don't know. We'll see how we're feeling after this first rip. deal situation. Didn't move an inch. Not what we wanted to do. Not what we wanted to do. Hopefully we get our second round later. Still gonna go past the scale so we get all on the ladder. But not ideal. Definitely really needed to go down the track right there, being that we're a day behind, two runs back from everybody. But hey, probably should have kicked the starting line retard on that one maybe, just to get down there. But you know, new track, car's never been here, we never been here, so we got to see where we're at, and that's what we just did. Found out where we're at, and we're not where we want to be.
Alright guys, we're in the lanes for our third qualifier. I do have it targeting like a 1.0 60 foot. The sun did come out, so we'll probably end up using one of the starting line retards. But we'll see. Track seems to be holding pretty well. James finally got here this morning, so he's about to make a lick right now. Probably try to go mid 50 or so. But unfortunately I'm not on the starting line to make that call, so hopefully Gonzo and maybe Bobby can figure it out and tell him where to be at. But I'm excited to see if we can't go a little bit faster today. Alright, it sounded like James kicked the tire. So they were probably targeting a 107, 108, 60 foot on that deal. But yeah, this track is tricky. So as soon as the sun hits that track, it seems to just get away real quick. So we're gonna have to really, you know, watch the surface, figure the surface out. I'm probably gonna end up turning on one of my starting line retards just to see if it'll go down. I'm targeting a fast 60 foot, and I don't think it'll take it. tree and turned it on, but I forgot to turn the damn CO2 bottle on. Well, that was not ideal.
Not what we wanted.
That's all right. I messed up, and apparently you need CO2 to do stuff.
Definitely on a turbo application.
Yeah, I should have sat there, but it flustered me, and I just drove down the track. Yeah. Oh well.
Hey, what happened last night, dude? I told you, Trey, I'm buy dinner.
Dude, you know, I got a little antsy.
I was a lot of it.
It was a lot of
you
antsy.
You sent me that text. I got a little antsy. I was expecting to be like 007 red or something, and they sent me .333 red. I was like, oh, that boy left on nothing.
Yeah. But I beat him to the stripe still. I had a .410 head start.
Yeah.
And he couldn't catch me. But yeah, no, I was a little fired up. I should have calmed down.
One Mississippi that one.
Yeah. I was trying to. The run before that, the dude like hung me out. So I was on the two-step forever. I let off, got back on the chip again, sat there for another 2 or 3 seconds before the light dropped, and it had me all flustered in my head like the tree takes forever.
Got it in your own head.
The tree is a little, I don't know, does the tree seem a little long?
Old school.
Yeah, it's old school, but it seems a little long.
I don't think it's got auto start. I think it's flipping
Yeah,
switch.
whatever. So game plan on this, loosen it up a little bit.
So we still had the front suspension limited on travel and tight from Georgia. We thought it would take it.
Yeah.
Did not take it.
No, the
so
track
we
is...
gave it back some limit, or took some limiter away from it, so gave it some more travel.
Yeah.
And then we were buying a tech card for another class to go up there and try
Do
one
some
more
testing.
time
Yeah.
before we have to make our last qualifying.
Yeah, that would have been a good 60-ish go down probably and been all right, but
That field's tight. It's not fast, but it's tight. A lot of guys
they're
that are in
fast.
this
Yeah.
field, we're out here testing, we're going fast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the couple days ago when the track was good, but as soon as the sun gets on this track, it gets real tricky. Yeah. It's glued and it feels tight, but it's just surface. As soon as the tire rotates on it, it rips it up and you ain't going nowhere. So it's very tricky.
Yeah, I might knock a pound out of every time.
Yeah, I would probably try setting one and just see if we can go down on that. Then we'll know for sure we have a go down the track tune-up is
And
what
then
I would aim for.
This overcast comes back.
Yeah, it's supposed to get nasty tonight, so if it rains real hard tonight, the track's totally going to change. So it's going to be a tricky weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of just getting down.
Yeah. So I guess that'll be the game plan for this next round. Unfortunately, I can't help you because I'm in the class right behind him, so I'm in the car suited up, ready to go. He makes his pass, so I can't actually read the track and be like, hey.
For this next qualifier, that I'll be first pair out.
Yeah, and I am probably going to be the last pair out. I was second pair out that time, so I'll probably be towards that.
Oh, yeah, you'll be
So I might be able to help it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I haven't even stepped on the track because I've been in the car, so I don't even know what it's like. But hard racing. We got to race the racetrack.
Alright guys, we are back up here in Radio vs. the World. Not the class we run, but we bought a tech card to get another stab at the racetrack just to get ourselves better centered. We only got one more shot and qualifying and we need to make it count. So the investment in the tech card for this class will definitely put us there. Get us a good nice stab at a nice hot greasy racetrack, so we can better ourselves for our second attempt at this. Will give us the ability to go down the track and just knock some power out of it so we can get down through there, so we can have a better starting point for our last qualifier. right, so we made it down through there. Went a 63, a little slower than we wanted, but for in the heat, that's good for what we got in it. Really don't have that hot of a tune up there. Definitely a short shutdown track. Gonna have to be dumping the laundry if it goes any faster than that. Gets real bouncy down there, so you really can't get the car stopped all that good with just the brakes, being that you're bouncing. But yeah, solid pass. That's exactly what we needed. Gather up some data, see if we can get this hot rod a little faster and Q4 to potentially put us in the top half of the ladder and get us a good spot. For our second qualifier of the day. This will be Q4 of the race, and we're going to just try to go A to B. We're unfortunately making this pass what we thought would have been at nighttime. Nice, cool, different track conditions. It's actually same track conditions as earlier in the sun, heat of the day. But this is what we'll be racing in tomorrow, so we're going to try to go better than that 63 test pass we just had, or just try to even match that 63 test pass we had and get on the ladder somewhere that's not second to last. So let's see how this pass goes. Back that pass up earlier with a 62 right there. Get us all on the field somewhere. Probably be on the bottom half with that 62, being that the front half is so tight with all them 51s and 52s and 53s and 54s. So at least we're on there with something better than a second to last. Get out here, grab this chute, and get her on back to the trailer.
James just went down an ultra street. He's sitting 14th right now with a 462, which is better than where he was. We're supposed to get another qualifier tonight, but I don't know. We'll see. There's supposed to be weather moving in, so we'll kind of see where we're at. I just want to try to go down the track, heat of the day, type of deal, better than we did earlier, where we forgot to turn the CO2 on. So CO2 will be on this time, and we'll kind of see where it's at. It is supposed to rain though, so the track's probably going to be totally different tomorrow, but we're still trying to figure out this thing, figure out what it likes, what it doesn't like, and yeah, just get her situated.
Totally forgot to turn the GoPro on. We made it further into heat, so I think if I would actually turn on the little bit more aggressive timing retard, it might have went, but it went about, I'd say it went just past the 60 foot, started shaking the tire. I may have been able to drive through it if I was actually racing somebody, but I decided not to, so it is what it is. We're supposed to get another qualifier, but I'm not going to count on that. I don't know that we qualify much better. We're not going to improve in the daytime anyway, but it would have been nice to go down in the daytime quick. And I think if I would have used a little bit more aggressive timing ramp on that, it might have actually took it. But it went about 60 feet, and then when power really rolled in, it kicked the tire. But it is what it is. We're starting to get this thing figured out. That's like I haven't really figured this thing out in a racing environment. Like, yeah, we can go to Bradenton and test, but Bradenton's a really good track. So until you get out and hit multiple different surfaces, and I have somebody on the starting line that can say, hey, turn it down a little bit, you know what I mean? It's not where you thought it was going to be. So that one there, I took 500 RPM out of the leave, 4 pounds of boost, and we dumped 10 degrees of timing out for about 0.5, and then it kind of hooks back in. So if I would have took I have 3 starting line retards right now. If I were to use the other one, it would have dropped 15 degrees out for about 0.5, 0.6, and then brought it back in, which might have been enough. Or I can stretch the 10 out because it took a hit. I could just bring that out a little bit later and let the boost roll in still, so it keeps the same curve and keeps rolling. But it would have been a fairly decent pass. Probably low 60, maybe a little bit quicker, but we'll get there. We'll get this thing sorted out, and if I can work Bobby in and he's with me all the time, he'll understand the track and know exactly, you know what I mean, what we're gonna do. So like I can tell from the starting, like just the track where we're at with the Camaro, say, hey bro, don't run it any harder than this, it'll go down. But we have that car sorted out pretty well, so we just need to get this one sorted out, and we'll be good and be able to go down pretty much everywhere once we learn what everything likes to do to work together. Hey, bud. 62.
62 and
Need
8.
they? Was that number 1 starting line retard and
900 PSI.
900? Okay. What did it go to the 60 foot?
111, 302, change, and went at 462.
Okay, cool. So we're sitting 14th,
14th.
and they're going to try to run us one more time tonight, so we can try to go mid to lower 50.
So it's going to be nighttime before we get this next run.
Right.
I also have a spot in RVW. So we might go up there and go for it in RVW. If it takes it,
Maybe we
know
can run
where
it.
we need to be.
Right. Yep.
It just depends on the run order. If I'm in
Well, RVW is going to run 4 Ultra. Ultra's last. Yes.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. RVW
Yeah.
would be 2 classes ahead.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the top 4 pairs for RVW, I'll have enough time to get the car.
I mean, you can cool that thing off real quick. So, all right, cool.
That's the plan.
I think I'm going to make a small bar change.
Another one.
Just move the instant center out just a little bit. Get a little more of the whole car to lift on instead of just the back part. That's what I'm thinking. So, try
One thing
it.
to do.
1 hole.
Let's try it.
That's it.
9 hole.
We'll get this thing dialed. It'll go down anywhere at some point. Shoo-wee.
Let it out much more.
No, that was fast. What'd you think, Bob? Alright guys, so just made a small bar change on our lower bar, our lower control arm. So I lowered the front of the control arm down 1 hole just to give it a little bit more leverage for the car instead of having such a short instance center. We made it just a little bit longer. Not a big move, just a small move. So as the sun goes down here, the track actually gets pretty dang good. So I'm going to go ahead and, just because I have nothing to lose, I'm going to try and smack this thing and try to go fast. We're going to try to go like a 1.0 something 60 foot. Last night we went a 110, so I'm going to take the boost ramp totally out of it, probably hit it with a little bit more out of the hole. See if we can't go 106, 107, 60 foot, possibly go into the 40s with this thing, but we'll see. I think the track will be there tonight, and we just need to get this thing 60 foot, and we should be able to make the run. If we go like a 293 to the 330, that should give us like a 449, which I'd be super pumped with. But unless I do that, we're not going to advance any more in qualifying anyway, so we'll try and do that, and then we should have a halfway decent daytime tune-up.
Getting a 5th round of qualifying. So we got the car ready, came up here for the Radio versus the World class that we bought a tech card for, so we can get a test pass in on a good nighttime racetrack before we take a swing at trying to get on the top half of the ladder in Ultra Street. So trying to go a 53 or better right here, so we can go 53 or better for our Q5 in Ultra. Solid rip. On a 455, and I was on the 2 setting with the bolts out. Definitely gonna have to roll those bolts in, but I think we can go on 3 for the Q5. Try to get this thing to go a little bit faster, see if we can't get on tap off of the ladder. But definitely a good rip of that 455.
In the lanes for our final qualifier, I was gonna do some stuff in the tune-up, change a few things around, and I decided I'd leave everything the same as it was last night when we went to 54, and just change the boost curve a little bit. See how that goes. Instead of changing too many things, we made a little bar change, and then we're gonna throw a little more boost at it early, see if it won't go 108-ish, 60. Maybe get us a 40, maybe get us a lower 50, but we'll see. James just went a 55 in Radio vs. the World, kind of like a test strip, but now they got to get it, turn around real quick and get back up to the lanes because they're calling Ultra Street right now. So we'll make our hit and then maybe quickly help them. It's kind of weird when I'm racing, I can't like help, and then I don't get to do the big end interviews or any of that stuff afterwards, so it's kind of weird, but it's all fun. So hopefully they get that thing turned around. Hopefully this thing goes down, does what it's supposed to do, and we get a new PB.
Another new PB. Oh!
I don't think they're the same thing. Yeah, I don't think lion and lions is the same. Pretty sure. Could be wrong.
Well, Sean Ryan, 433.
So we don't need to run down the racetrack. We got vehicles running down there, driving down there. Gonna check on Nate right now.
Yeah, he's got his phone.
I just got it.
Well,
Yeah, that's less than ideal.
definitely.
Not that bad. It's just a little less than ideal.
That was a ride, I bet.
Yeah. How you feel?
A little tender. Yeah, that wasn't even as fast as I was hoping for either. Hey guys, we went to PB. Oh man. Yeah, that was probably one of the weirdest experiences of my life. Everything was like slow motion. Still don't know what exactly caused it. I haven't seen the video, I haven't seen anything. Haven't really looked at the car that much, but yeah, it sucks. We just got this thing back together. We're starting to get it figured out, and gotta start over again.
Sorry, we'll get it fixed.
We're gonna fix that.
Come out here even faster.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alright guys, and we are back up here for Q5 in Ultra Street. A little delay, you guys seen what happened. Nate is doing okay though, so that is good. Cars are replaceable, TuneEmAlls are not. So Moonshine will be fixed and come out better than ever. But as you guys may or may not have seen on the internet, we're running Sean Pevlar, the guy we raced in the finals at Georgia. This is the last qualifier of the night, and we're doing a little grudge race action to recap what the finals could have been if we both went down the racetrack instead of a pedal fest. Still could be a pedal fest, never know. But we're gonna go out there and have a little fun, see if we can't better our qualifying position to go into the race tomorrow, and see what happens. didn't go nowhere nearly as we planned. Might have made too aggressive of a tune-up change on that. Going on 3 was probably not the move for right now. We were banking on being our 3rd pair down, not the dead last guys down the track. But they wouldn't let us go up there for whatever reason, but not ideal. Should have just went on 2 like we did that last pass and went a 53 or 52. He went at 51, so it would have been a hell of a race. But that's racing for you. Got me another runner-up, first loser on that one. You know, when 2 cars race, there's a winner and a loser. I was first loser on that one. But that'll do it. Put this thing in the box. We're gonna get some weather tonight. We've got a 4 p.m. start tomorrow for E1, and we're gonna hit it hard.
All right, guys, give you a little bit of a rundown. We're back at the Airbnb, but pass felt good. Nothing really weird happened. It felt smoother than it ever has. Bar change worked great. Going through the traps, I felt it wiggle a little bit, which you kind of may see in the in-car. And then it just kind of started floating around, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a weird sensation. And then before I knew it, we're sliding. Tried to grab the chute, obviously wasn't fast enough. In hindsight, if I would have ripped the chute as soon as I went through the traps, probably could have avoided some of that, but it is what it is. I didn't happen to do that. I only pulled the chute once earlier in that weekend, and it kind of made the car do a lot of funny stuff. So I stopped pulling it and just was not using the chute. I had plenty of room to slow down. There was a really hard bump in that lane, so I knew that was coming. I didn't get on the brakes real hard or nothing. I just tapped the brakes, and something apparently got under the front tire, popped the front tire, and when it did that, the car kind of nosed over. The control arm hit the ground, drug on the ground, and that's what made it. You can see in some of the other videos where it like kind of 3-wheeled because it grabbed the control arm, and there was nothing I could really do. And it just came around. So I just went for a ride. I feel okay right now. Took some ibuprofen, so I'm gonna get some rest. Try and get this video edited. I appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, we'll fix it. We'll get it back and assess the damage. But thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next episode.